All right, let's do it. It is your Thursday edition of Meteorologist Ben at 10. Ben Peine here, Peine. So thanks for joining us here this morning after a busy night last night. Thankfully, we didn't have a ton of damage across the area with some strong thunderstorms. There were some areas of flooding, mainly in Kentucky last night. And now we have a front moving through, and we actually have some rain on the radar that we're looking at. So this is a look at the live radar with a thin band of some showers moving through, about to move into downtown New Albany and Jeffersonville. So we have a front that is moving through this morning and a few passing showers with that. But most of today is going to be dry. And we can take a little look outside as well at some of the cloudy conditions as that rain is about to move into New Albany as we look live here at the corner of Market and Vincennes in uptown New Albany. So a little bit of cloud cover this morning as this front is moving through, but we're not going to be talking about much rain in the extended outlook as we have a long and dry weather pattern that is on the way pretty soon, as this is our last full day of springtime. Tomorrow, summer begins at 10:42 p.m., and then we are going to be starting off summertime with a blast of furnace heat on the way, a heat wave with 90s this weekend and beyond, perhaps the longest dry stretch of weather we've had so far this year, as well as we've had over 30 inches of rain this year. That is over 6.5 inches above normal for this time of the year. So we've got a lot to talk about here. A lot of events coming up this weekend. It's going to be all dry for that. Again, just a bit on the hot side. And again, we're tracking a few of those showers out there. And looking at whatever else is happening as well. We've got a big show and tell, too. I want to thank you all for those pictures that were sent in to my Facebook page last night. We've got an early good morning here from Beverly Hagist. Thanks for tuning in there from Borden, Indiana. So, again, if you're just starting to hop on the show, of course, we sometimes we pick up some folks at around 10:30 in the morning. Sometimes we've got folks right off the bat. So this morning, we're just doing kind of a little tour of the radar. Nothing severe out there today, but as we do a super zoomed in view, there you can see that rain crossing over 265, heading over the knobs, northern New Albany, up Charlestown Road, Grant Line Road, and about to move into downtown New Albany. So getting wet for a little bit of an interruption there with these showers moving through. And then as you see, as we head into Jeffersonville, that rain right along 265 and up 62. Heading over to River Bluff, you've got some of that rain there. And then into Kentucky, into Oldham County, you guys have that rain moving through Goshen, heading into LaGrange. So there is Interstate 71. Kind of along and north of 71 right now is where we have most of those showers. It looks like Newcastle for you guys in Henry County. You might get clipped by a little bit of those showers too. And then up to the northeast around Carrollton, we have some showers. So yeah, lovely, isn't it, to see more rain on the radar? I think we are all pretty much done with it. But there you can see still tracking a few of these little showers and a couple sprinkles out here as we look along and north of 64. Western Harrison County and into Crawford County, south of the Milltown and English areas. So a little bit of something to track here. This rain is moving off to the southeast along that front. There you can see a little bit of the motion of some of that rainfall that we have out there now. And again, it is pretty gloomy as we look live out there right now, as that rain is about to come down pretty good. So we'll keep an eye on that live view as that rain is rolling in. And you can take a look at it as well with our interactive radar here. We've got some flood warnings off to the south there for, it looks like the Rolling Fork, and temperatures here starting off in the upper 60s and lower 70s across the area. So this is at extolmag.com/weather is where you can find that interactive radar. A lot more tools here as well. I've got my 7-day forecast that I've loaded up for you. It starts off with tomorrow, and you can see all the 90s that we're going to be talking about here. And we've got the live broadcast as well, which you can find on YouTube, by the way. You just click right there. That'll take you to our live broadcast, which I'm live right now in front of you. I'm live at extolmag.com/weather and also Extol Media on YouTube. Trying to get those followers there built up on YouTube. So if you head to EXTOL Media, just search that, like, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Follow my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, and Extol Weather on Facebook as well. A lot of different ways we can be in touch here with our live Ben at 10 program. Just looking over some stuff here and take a live look outside with the cloudy camera here at the Falls of the Ohio. So it is a gray start to the day with this weak front that is going to be moving through the area. We got a good morning here from Marcelin Wilson. Thanks for watching here. And Keith says, not a bad morning to sit out on the porch. Yeah, nice little west-northwest breeze out there today. We'll notice the humidity will drop just a notch today, tomorrow, a little bit of Saturday. Dew points go from the 70s to the 60s. It's still humid, but it's not as oppressive as it's been. And then we're going to be seeing the humidity and the heat on the rise, back in the 70s with those dew points Sunday and through next week. We'll likely see some air quality alerts with this stagnant heat dome over us next week. And with those 90s and the high level of humidity, we're talking heat index values around 100 or above Sunday through next week. With that said, this could be the longest dry stretch of weather that we've had this year. I was just looking back month to month. We only had like a 3-day dry stretch in June, May, not even that long in April and February. I think the longest dry stretch we've had, and it wasn't very long, was in January. So this could be finally an all dry 7-day forecast. So things are changing as summer kicks in here this weekend. Wyatt Wright, good morning to you. And we got Lillian Lasley here. Nice out this morning. Nice for most, but we do have some downpours about to move through here behind me. I can see the trees blowing around a little bit. Brian, thanks for watching this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to Michael Montgomery out there in Mount Washington. Kathy Bryant, good morning to you. Loving the good mornings flowing in after kind of a busy weather day yesterday. And Orlean is looking forward to the dry weather pattern. Terry Washburn, good morning, neighbor, old neighbor. Thanks for tuning in. We've had some fun times in the neighborhood recently. I'll have to fill you guys in soon. Anyway, let's take a look at our partners really quickly, and then we'll get rolling along with the forecast. And again, that show and tell that I want to show you, because we had a bunch of gorgeous pictures sent in yesterday. All right, so I want to start off here first with a shout out to IB Tech Sellersburg. They've got 42 programs offered. We are live there at Tuesdays at the Tech. Beautiful campus. Check it out. You can go to ibtech.edu. Just head to the locations. You can find out more. Summer session underway. Fall session you can get registered for. That is August 25th. And anytime you can register for Tuesdays at the Tech for one-on-one information. Lyons Roofing, by the way, if you go there, they've got a hiring section now. And you can see the spot where you can apply for the roofing repair technician. You can see the job responsibilities there and everything you need to do to fill that out. So we're talking about opportunities here in Southern Indiana, and there's a bunch of available employment opportunities as well. libspaving.com. Go to LIB as in Ben, libspaving.com, and you can see all the job postings there. Finally getting some dry weather for the roofers and the pavers and all the other outdoor industries that could use a dry stretch of weather. NWSB, people you know wherever you go, banking the way you want. You go to newwashbank.com to learn more information about all of their services as well. And again, just want to mention extolmag.com/weather. I was using this a lot yesterday on our 2-hour-long live stream tracking the storms, because we got a good lightning counter on here. And also the storm tracks. Here's a look at, I just clicked on the alert there for due to the heavy rainfall, the Rolling Fork River near Boston could be flooding there. So on the rise, we can take a look at those levels here in just a second. Actually, you can just go right to the Kentucky rivers and lake levels at extolmag.com/weather. And we've got a good morning from Brenda Collings from Hanover, Indiana. Good morning to you guys there in Hanover. So as we click on the Rolling Fork River and the forecast, we'll go to the full gauge page. So there you can see the level right now is right up to minor flood stage. That continues today, then goes back down below flood stage as we head through the weekend. So a little bit of flooding possibilities there around the Rolling Fork River near Boston, Kentucky. You can also find that same information for free, easy to use, water.noaa.gov. Again, we are looking at, can you hear the kitties in the background? They've been very vocal this morning. Elvira and Ginger are our work cats. So we are tracking some showers this morning. This is along that front, basically just a wind shift. And when you hear front, I know you think cooler conditions. It's not going to be a whole lot cooler. It'll be in the low 80s today. The humidity does drop off just a little bit, but we're right back to the upper 80s tomorrow, and we've got a long stretch of 90s on the way. So one last little tour of the radar here, and then we'll dig into the show and tell portion. I want to show you those really awesome pictures we got, and then we're going to look at your forecast in the short term and the long term. So currently, these showers moving into New Albany, kind of slow movers right now, not moving super fast. Let me go ahead and take this off and bring up another look at that radar. So basically New Albany, cutting across the river into Prospect, along and north of I-71 is where we had that little batch of showers. It looks like maybe a little bit tiny rain around Bardstown and New Haven there in Nelson County, Kentucky as well. So there you can see just a few passing showers this morning with that front. But we are going to have clearing conditions, a whole lot of sunshine on the way for any of your outdoor activities. Pool, lake lovers, rejoice as we have full-on summer heat wave weather on the way. So here's a look at the broad view. You can see that clearing trend out to the west. So much of the nation is going to start to settle down. It's been a very active weather pattern pretty much all year, it seems like. Again, we talked about over 6 inches of rainfall surplus this year. Haven't had any significant dry stretches. So again, the first long dry stretch on the way. And it looks like we'll see more sunshine as we head into the afternoon. What's that heavy? Hey, Elvira. What are you doing? Can you hear Elvira? Elvira? Good morning. You want to come up here, talk to the people? Okay. I don't know if she's hungry or what. All right, so everybody say good morning to Elvira and Ginger right here next to me. Are you happy that the rain is gone, Elvira? Yeah? Okay, now she's not talking. All right, you can see this, the sunshine breaking out in some parts of Indiana now, and the bigger clearing off to the northwest. So it is going to be mostly clear for tonight. So it looks like we're getting a little batch of some sun behind those showers working through the area. Linda saying, awesome, can't wait for this long dry weather pattern. I'm on the same page as you. Do want to mention it as well very quickly as we get into the forecast. If you want to partner up, we can be your megaphone here in Southern Indiana. If you want to become a marketing advertising partner, just contact me. Easy to do. Ben at extolmag.com, Jason at extolmag.com. Still averaging over 2 million views per month over the last 90 days. So thank you so much for all of your viewership. We got thousands of views on our live stream last night. And a lot of these individual posts that aren't video or live, just that 7-day forecast, are also getting thousands and thousands of views. So thanks for your support here in Southern Indiana and beyond. Extol means to celebrate and highly praise. So that's what we're doing here in Southern Indiana. So if you have a business or an organization, feel free to give me a shout there at ben@extolmag.com. Or if you just have a weather question, take a look at this. We've got Marilyn Webb tuning in here this morning. Drier weather coming for both Kentucky and Indiana. That is true. Now, Duke Marsh. Big shout out to Duke Marsh out of New Albany, Indiana. He heads up on that hill there in New Albany. What is that? Daisy? Yeah, you have to help me out. I'm blanking right now. There's a Daisy Hill in Borden. There's also a Daisy Road Hill up in New Albany as well. But looking from that high point in New Albany back towards Louisville yesterday evening, look at that bolt, that cloud to ground lightning strike. And head over to Duke Marsh's Facebook page, and you can see more of these pictures. And take a look at this. That's, I mean, almost frameable picture right there of the storm. In the background, 2 cloud to ground lightning strikes there. So again, this is when you want to bring up Ben at 10 on the big screen at home. YouTube, again, head to YouTube, Extol Media, free to use the YouTube app there on your smart TV and check out us on a bigger screen. I want to thank Lori Peavy from Lebanon, Kentucky. Look at that sun peeking underneath the storm cloud, rain off to the west. And there were some awesome colors too, because we were getting some around sunset. They're called crepuscular rays, and the rays of sun, crepuscular means right around sunset or sunrise. And you may have noticed that some of the towering cumulus clouds were blocking out some of the sunset rays, and you got these shadows, and really, it makes really cool pictures. So that one was from Lebanon, Kentucky. And then here's a shot near Austin and Crothersville, I should say, from Amy Beswick in Austin, Indiana. Great colors there. Again, we had these storms kind of surrounded by sunshine, and it can just give us these really cool colors. And there's a look at that brilliant looking crepuscular ray. So you can see the storm cloud towering up. Those might be 40, 50,000 feet up in the air, allowing sun on the left side and then blocking out the sun on the right side. Linda Anderson, I agree with you. Wow. There's some great pictures out there. I posted one on my Facebook page yesterday explaining the crepuscular rays hitting the top of those towering cumulonimbus clouds. And then over the pool here, Tanya Isaac sharing the crepuscular rays. Again, those storm clouds in the distance blocking out the last of the day's rays. And this is from my dad up in Indianapolis. He had to break out the chainsaw because they had trees down. The storms were stronger there over central Indiana. Beverly Haggis, I don't have the smart TV. He's got that dumb TV. I understand that completely. So the forecast today at a 5, a moderate level. So we have a decent amount of clouds around, but every once in a while we'll get some sunshine, especially later this afternoon. That play ball forecast here for you. We got upper 70s, lower 80s for most of the day, partly cloudy, a 30% chance of that shower, but that's mostly happening now with this little band of rain moving through at the moment. And so not a bad day to actually get outside, as the rain chance is going to be very small for us. In that forecast in detail for your June 19th. Juneteenth, we've got 84 degrees, that high for today, and just that small shower chance. And a west-northwest wind at around 10 to 15 miles per hour, so a decent little breeze, and our sunset at 9:09. So we are now heading to some of the longest days of the year and our latest sunsets and earliest sunrises, as tomorrow is the summer solstice, when the sun's rays are at their northernmost point, the Tropic of Cancer. And so we're going to see long days for the rest of June into July. This is my favorite part of the year. One of the reasons it's my favorite part of the year. Love those very late sunsets. You can see still a little bit of twilight all the way to 10 p.m. So we've got 9-10 sunsets over the next few days. And our forecast tonight, mostly clear, 68, warm, dry. But this will be one of our cooler nights that we're going to have, as we're going to head back to the mid-70s for lows into next week with a heat wave on the way. Weezer, good morning. Pretty good band as well. Vicky Berger, amazing pictures. Thank you, Vicky, for watching this morning. And tomorrow's forecast here in detail. I don't have a Big Happy this morning. I got my own little cup I brought in from work. Brought in from home to work. Here's the forecast. Tomorrow morning around 70 at 8 a.m. after a low of 68, 80 at noon, 88 that high temperature. Sun up at 6:19 tomorrow morning, sunset 9:09. Normal high is 87 degrees. Got a lot of events coming up. We've got racing Louisville. They've got their football match tomorrow, their soccer match or football match. Friday at 8 p.m. at Lynn Family Stadium. Looks like it's going to be mostly clear sky, temperatures in the 80s as they begin the match there on the pitch. southwest wind around 5 to 10. Good looking summer weather. Again, tomorrow evening, humidity not out of control. St. Matthew's Summerfest, Saturday, June 21st. We got sunshine and 92 degrees. They've got bands and vendors, and it's going to be a big party out there in St. Matthew's. 88 tomorrow. Again, summer beginning officially tomorrow night, 10:42. So our first full day of summertime, Saturday, 92, then up to 94 on Sunday. Look at our low temperatures this weekend, heading back into the mid-70s. So we're going to be above normal. And look at this, first time we've ever seen this year in all dry 7-day forecast. If there was any chance of rain, it would be like maybe like a barely an isolated pop-up afternoon shower, like less than 10% chance, maybe at some point next week. But there are no storm systems that would be passing through our area because the jet stream is going to be way to the north, big ridge of high pressure setting up over the area. And sometimes when it gets maybe a little bit hotter than this and it lasts for longer, meteorologists will call it a death ridge because it's just blazing heat and humidity over the top of a region. So we'll take a look at that pattern in a little more detail and the heat wave that's on the way with the weather maps. But you can see the numbers right there. 95 back-to-back Monday, Tuesday, right around there. Next Wednesday, Thursday. Really no change in the air mass once it's locked in place. So that means low temperatures in the mid-70s. We may even see like urban areas, downtown New Albany, Jeffersonville, Louisville, that can't even get those low temperatures into the upper 70s next week. So you got to get outside of town in the countryside spots to see those lows down maybe low mid 70s. So some crazy heat on the way as we are off and running with our summer season here. And Perry Porter, good morning. I was watching the news this morning. They were talking about the cicada killer wasp. I've actually heard of that. They are big. And a lot of those hornets and those wasps do eat cicadas and other bugs. And I'm sure they're having quite the meal this year where there's been all the cicadas out there. But I have heard of that. We get the European bald-faced hornets, which are huge. They're like 2-3 inches long. Pretty scary. They've gotten me a little bit. They've got me in the back before a little bit. They've got huge nests. All right, so this is what we're looking at right here. There's been just a few passing showers out there. You can see these showers that have been moving through New Albany, Indiana, and Jeffersonville, and moving into Oldham County around LaGrange and Prospect. So just that little batch that we're watching right now. As we bring up the full screen view here, looks like that shower already starting to pass through New Albany with a little sun starting to peek out. Somebody's getting a delivery soon. This is the corner of Benson's and Market with our live shot right there. So again, it's just passing showers right now. We can bring up also the live view if you're just popping in, tracking just a few of these showers. This is the live view as well at the Falls of the Ohio. This is the Falls of the Ohio Foundation Cam. Go ahead and exit out of there. There you can see. Getting some peaks of sunshine behind that little batch of some showers moving through. We'll dig into the weather model data here in just a second. Just taking a peek at that little bit of rain fall across the area. I can go and bring up the live radar as well. Here we go. Here's the live scans. Quick tour, and then we'll look ahead with the weather models. So a decent little, looks like that shower. Sorry about the fast zooming, by the way. Try not to make you dizzy here. So parts of Jeffersonville still have a shower. It looks like New Albany drying out. So as we look here in the northeastern sections of Jefferson County, Kentucky, around Green Spring and Prospect, River Bluff, over to Park Lake, LaGrange, up I-71, still have this rain passing through your areas, up to near Campbellsburg and Newcastle, into Henry County. This is drifting off to the east and southeast. Most of southern Indiana is dry at the moment. And then we got a couple of these little showers just starting to pop up a little bit here near Lebanon, parts of Marion County, Kentucky, into Washington County, Kentucky, between Bloomfield and Willisburg, a little bit of a shower there. and then a couple sprinkles, little tiny showers into northern Breckinridge County and southern Harrison County. So most of the area, again, is going to be dry for today as these little showers pass on through. We'll go ahead and bring up the future radar, which we won't be using this too much coming up pretty soon as we are heading into this drier weather pattern. So let's go ahead and bring up the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model. I'm going to bring this to time 0, which is now 11 o'clock. It's doing a good job picking up on just a few of these showers. The always positive Angela Epperson popping in. Good morning, Ben. I do see the sun. Going to end up being a beautiful day. Thanks for the updates. Love the morning positivity. Honestly, I'll be truthfully honest with you guys. It can be not a great start, and then we get rolling on our show here, and I start seeing all these comments. It does change the mood, change my mood at least. Puts me in a better spot a lot of times. So thanks for the positivity there. So this is 11 o'clock this morning, showing just that spotty shower chance moving through. I'm going to take this to 1 o'clock. So the best chance of some lingering rain today is going to be really over the bluegrass down towards Lake Cumberland as that front drifts to the south. You can see the majority of southern Indiana is dry. I'm going to take this to 3 o'clock, and that's the same trend here. So this is this afternoon. A lot of the area dry. I definitely need to mow the grass. It's getting like a foot tall. Good morning from John Fox, and Chris Ramos is rolling. And Angela, good for the positivity. Glad I could help. We all need that positivity. Christopher Ramos, yeehaw, rawhide. All right, there you go. All right, this is 4 o'clock and into 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So later in the day, most of that shower activity gone. But notice here around 7 o'clock, maybe a little isolated shower. Chris Ramos saying the humidity is wild. It is still out of control this morning. It is going, once this front moves south later today, you might be able to notice it. That it's going to be slightly less humid the next couple of days, but still humid. We're heading into summertime. We're not going to get many breaks in the humidity. It's coming for us. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the short-term data. Not much rain out there today. Isolated shower. I've got it at like 30% chance. I'm going to move into the GFS weather model, and we are going to look at the temperature outlook for us. Also want to bring up, so this is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. It's pretty wild. You don't often see the Climate Prediction Center that confident that it's going to be that hot. So if you want the cooler weather, you got to go to the western half of the United States. Big ridge of high pressure setting up over the eastern part of the continental United States. So what we have here is a dip in the jet stream out west, big ridge in the jet stream over the eastern half of the United States, and the jet stream flying way up into Canada. And so where you get these troughs, the dip in the jet stream, that's where you're going to get that cooler air. And then this big ridge is just heat building day by day. Now, I do like the heat, even though I drive a truck that has no air conditioning. I don't mind sweating it out a little bit. So if you like the heat, there's the happy sunshine. If you don't like the heat, then I guess we'll get everybody in there. The not happy sunshine. So we're looking at a stretch of 90s that might continue for a week or so in a whole lot of humidity, and heat index numbers around 100 or above, possibly for pretty much all of next week. I really don't see any significant fronts that are going to be moving through anytime soon. So that's the Climate Prediction Center. Now we go to the GFS, going to go to the apparent temperature. I'm going to jump ahead to, well, we can go to Saturday and then just kind of go day by day. So this is going to be, so tomorrow is the 20th. And so we'll go to the 21st. We'll say 5 p.m. So there's that ridge I'm talking about here building in. Let me go to full screen view of that. Okay, we're taking the billionaire's rocket to outer space, as we do pretty often, to show you the global trend here. So here's that jet stream diving down. Here's the jet going way north. And so all of this is tropical air. So we're going to be feeling hotter than the Caribbean in the Gulf because the land heats up more and just as humid. Vicky Berger, I love the happy sunshine just like you. So there you go. So that's kind of the global view. Oops. Take that off there. Take the drawing off. And we'll zoom back in here. Big heat wave. All right, let's take a look. Let's plot out a few of these kind of feels like temperatures. And they're just going to be scattered in the 90s and 100s. I'm just plotting kind of randomly here. You can get some amazing heat index numbers, by the way, over cornfields because of evapotranspiration. That's the corn and soybeans releasing their moisture into the air. And sometimes those farm fields can be excessively humid. So there you go. This is Saturday heat index numbers across the area. And Saturday is actually going to be one of our cooler days. Let me clear those numbers out. And then we're going to go to the 22nd, so that's Sunday. I'm going to turn off that. No change in the heat wave pattern. And here we go to the 23rd. So now we're getting into what, Monday? No change to our heat wave pattern. Upper 90s, 100s with the heat index all over the place as we plot these out all over. So there you go. That is our Monday. We can go into Tuesday, which is going to be the, what, 24th? This here is Tuesday afternoon. Locked in place is the heat wave. So, you know, really anything you see in this reddish area, that's going to be feeling like around 100. So that is Tuesday. Going into Wednesday, this is going to be the 25th. No change. Heat wave rolls on. And this can be a problem, especially with the elderly, if they don't have AC when it lasts this long and there's no relief at nighttime. So if you have neighbors that don't have AC, make sure you check up on them. I did just recently change out the filters in my HVAC. They were covered, dust, cat, dog hair. So you might want to think about that as well if the AC isn't working as well. Going into Thursday, the 26th, still no change in that heat wave. So then where we go? 25, 26, 27th. So let me know what, next Friday? Still there. So really, guys, the moral of this story is I don't know when we're going to see a break in this upcoming heat wave. So that's 27th going. This is the 28th. This just must be it. Some folks were asking, do you think because we've had a wet year, we'll have a dry, hot summer? This pattern shows that. This is going to July 1st, almost my birthday. So what this shows is hope for maybe kind of a break in the heat wave. This would be called this is called a backdoor cold front because it's coming in from the opposite direction, coming in from the northeast. And sometimes we can get some cooler air off the Great Lakes every once in a while in the summertime from these backdoor cold fronts. It can kind of suppress the heat wave off to the south. This is, by the way, July 1st. This is looking way ahead, a couple weeks. So there you go. Long-lasting heat wave for us. Let me see if I can bring up the 500 millibar winds. This would be about 18,000 feet. I'm going to take this to, we'll just take it to, let's say, the middle of next Tuesday, 24th or so. So that's showing the jet stream off to the north of us. Let me go a little bit farther in time to the 25th. So now we're looking at what, next Wednesday, jet stream off to the north. So the jet stream splits cool air north, warm air south. That is just going to be locked to the north for a very long time. This here is going into the 26th. So late next week, jet stream still off to our north. So definitely a transition to hot, dry, sunny pattern here for us. Taking another live look outside as we are now seeing more sunshine across the area. We had a shower pass through parts of New Albany and Jeffersonville and into Oldham County, Kentucky. We've got a question here about how's the weather looking Sunday. We're going to Lafayette, Indiana for my granddaughter's baby shower. It looks like you're looking dry and just hot up there as well. Christopher Ramos says a frown is just a smile that is upside down. Since I was born with no smiling muscles, every time the neighborhood children bike, stand on my head and wave. Interesting. Jeanette Pierce, good morning. Heating up a little bit and no rain sounds good. And Christopher also says brutal for a while. And Lillian says, hope it's not too hot on my birthday, July 23rd. I mean, that is, Lillian, typically the hottest part of the year. Late July, on average, is when we see the hottest weather. All right, we made it to 10:37 already. And I'm going to bring up the live radar. We'll do a quick tour of that real quick. We will also take a look at the forecast here. And then we'll wrap things up on our Ben at 10 June 19th edition. So we just looked at the cloudy conditions outside in New Albany. It looks like just a sprinkle or two left over in New Albany and Jeffersonville. I'm going to bring up a full screen look at the live scan view. And I'll get my head out of the way. So like, again, a little sprinkle here over New Albany and into Clarksville and parts of Jeffersonville. Still looking at a little better downpour here at the intersection of the Snyder and 71 up on the northeast side of Louisville, right there at Langdon Place, Green Spring, over the Worthington Hills, Orchard Grass Hills, up I-71 into Oldham County, right along I-71 to LaGrange. Still looking at some areas of decent rain there, brief heavy rainfall near Newcastle. These kind of slow moving showers. And then as we look to the south, there's been a couple more showers here around Springfield. Do I have a visitor rubbing on my back right now? Is this what's happening, Ginger? Is this what's happening? Are you gonna be nice? We show everybody. Listen, can you hear the purr? You're not happy at all, are you? You're not happy at all, are you, Gingy? I'll put you right back down here. You're right here. You want to stay here? You can stay there. You can keep my back warm. There we go. Say hi to Gingy. Laura, you're not missing a whole lot. We just discussed the heat wave, went through the weather models, looking at the live radar, and we're going to look, there's a little bit of hair flying around, and then we're going to look at, reminds me of my house, hair everywhere. We're brushing out the dogs like every day. All right, so that was good morning to Ginger. Live radar here for you, Laura, and then we're going to look at the forecast and we'll wrap things up. So again, we were just looking at some showers here in Marion and Washington counties, kind of surrounding the Lebanon area. Springfield, Kentucky, you've got a few of those showers. And as we look off to the west into Breckinridge County, you've got a couple little tiny showers as well. There is Hardinsburg and Irvington in Breckinridge County. So a few passing showers this morning, front moving through, and then mostly dry across the area this afternoon. The best chance for some showers later today will be east of I-65, really towards the Bluegrass, down towards Lake Cumberland. Will be a better chance of rain later today, but most of the area will be mostly dry. All right, I'm going to do that show and tell one more time because I know some people popped in a little bit late. We had some amazing pictures sent in to me on my Facebook page. Thank you so much. And then I scouted out these at Duke Marsh's page. So check out his pictures. He's just an amazing photographer, finds the right location, gets up on the high locations in New Albany, looking back towards downtown. That is a huge cloud to ground lightning strike there, right behind the city skyline. A couple of cloud to ground CGs, cloud to ground lightning strikes there yesterday evening. Nice sunset underneath the cloud base there in Lebanon, Kentucky. Thank you, Lori Peavy, for that one. And just some really cool looking colors because the storms were surrounded by the sunshine. This was Amy Beswick. And also because the storms were around sunset, you do get some really nice looking colors. And then we had the crepuscular rays, crepuscular meaning around sunrise or sunset. And you can see the cloud, the towering cumulonimbus cloud, nimbus meaning rain, cumulus, those towering clouds, blocking out the sun. So half shade, half crepuscular sunset. There's those crepuscular rays. Again, some of that light being blocked out by those distant clouds. Tanya Isaac, thanks for sharing that one. This one was from Brooklyn Cross, by the way. And then there's a big tree that got split up. I think that's a Bradford pear. They get broken up like that pretty easily. So my dad was out there firing up the chainsaw. Don't feel bad for him. He loves to fire that chainsaw up. UV index of 5 today, so we will get some peaks of sunshine out there. Can get a burn with a moderate level of 5. And just a couple of passing showers, mostly this morning, mostly dry this afternoon, upper 70s, low 80s, west-northwest wind at around 10 to 15. That high forecast today, 84 degrees, a few below our normal high of 87 for this time of the year. And warm and partly cloudy outside, that small shower chance. Sunset at 9:09 as we get toward the longest sunsets of the year now, and the longest days of the year. The latest sunsets, I should say. 68 our low tonight, mostly clear, warm and dry, a light south breeze overnight. This will be one of our cooler nights. Laura saying, wow, and stunning to those pictures. I agree with you. And Lillian Lasley saying a beautiful picture there. And tomorrow's forecast for your June 20th, 80 by noon, 88, that high temperature. So very warm out there, humid, but not as excessively humid as we've been. The humidity going down just a notch over the next couple of days. And Laura, I agree with you. Sounds like a good day. And tomorrow evening, racing Louisville will be at Lynn Family Stadium. Mostly clear and just nice and warm out there. Southwest wind around 5 to 10, so it should be nice out there for that match. And the St. Matthews Summerfest is Saturday with sunshine and 92 degrees. And there's yet 92 for Saturday, and then 94 on Sunday. Also, take a peek at the low temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. That is an indication the tropical air is rolling back in with a south breeze and the sunshine. That'll put our heat index around 100 or above Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Our driest 7-day forecast we've had all year long. And eventually just some oppressive heat and humidity lasting for a long time. Not seeing any relief in sight from that anytime soon. And I did do some digging to some of the numbers today. If my math is correct, my research here, 30.57 inches of rainfall this year. That's 6.62 inches above normal. That's not a surprise to anybody, I don't think. And I just saw one 3-day dry stretch in June and in May, and I think April only had like a 2-day dry stretch. There was a 4-day dry stretch in March, and then the longest stretch of dry days was actually in January. but still had a trace every once in a while reported on the climate data. So this would be, if rain holds off and it's all sunshine, the longest dry forecast of 2025. It's been a long time coming here for us as well. All right. That kind of wraps it up. One quick look outside one more time at the partly cloudy conditions as we're starting to see some sunshine return to the area. And just a little batch of some showers moving through off to the northeast of Louisville, around LaGrange, and into Henry County. So not a big deal with our rain chances out there for today. Another live look here at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera at the mostly cloudy conditions at the moment. We'll remind you too, you can always head over to extolmag.com/weather. You can see Lions Roofing, big ad right there, ready for a career. They actually have, if you click on that banner up there, when that Lions Roofing comes on, you can see it kind of switches out there. It'll take you right to this form where you can apply for the roofing repair technician. So want to talk about opportunities here in Southern Indiana. You can also get the education for these opportunities at ivytech.edu, Sellersburg location. 42 programs offered, 2-year certificates, get right into the workforce right away. Also, if you're a student in high school, look into the dual credit. Also, look at all these job postings here. Available employment opportunities all over the place here at libspaving.com. That is L-I-B as in Ben, libspaving.com. And thank our partners once again at NWSB, newwashbank.com. You can learn a whole lot more about their offerings, their services right there at newwashbank.com. extolmag.com/weather. You can see my live stream is up right now. So you can watch, there's a bunch of different ways you can watch our program. And that includes the website, extolmag.com/weather. Just click on it, takes you right to the YouTube channel. YouTube, head over to, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can see that banner right there in red. And so that'll be an easy way for it to bring us up full screen, and you can be alerted to our live updates and videos that I frequently post there. There you see our 7-day forecast, weather story, and a whole lot more information for Southern Indiana and beyond right there at extolmag.com/weather. And again, so that is the website. And you go to YouTube, Extol Media, Extol Weather on Facebook, and Meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E, on the Facebook. So thank you so much for joining us here. The weather pattern starting to settle down after a lot of stormy weather this year. First all dry 7-day forecast and 90s. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Happy Friday Eve out there, and we'll see you tomorrow on Ben at 10 at 10 a.m. on your June 20th tomorrow morning. If I don't see you then, have a great weekend.